Early spring is where most women lose their elegance. It's not winter anymore, but it's not warm enough to dress light. The sun feels hopeful, the air still feels sharp, and suddenly the outfits that worked in January feel too heavy, while anything remotely spring-like feels premature. And this is exactly where rich mom style separates itself from everyone else. Because early spring isn't about buying something new, it's about understanding transition. If you understand how to transition properly, your wardrobe immediately looks more intentional, more expensive, more composed, without dramatically changing anything. And that's what I want to talk about today. The early spring formula for 2026. Not trends, not aesthetics, a structure. Because elegance, especially in transitional seasons, is architectural. Most women dress emotionally in early spring. The sun comes out, and instinctively we reach for lighter fabrics, softer colors, bare ankles, thinner layers. It feels optimistic, fresh, but elegance isn't emotional, it's controlled. Early spring still requires structure. The light may be softer, but the air is crisp. The landscape is still neutral. There is contrast in the environment, and when your outfit becomes too flimsy too quickly, it disconnects from that contrast. That's when it starts to look accidental instead of refined. So instead of removing layers abruptly, elegant women replace heavy layers with intelligent ones. That's the difference. The formula I use every year is simple, but it's deliberate. And in 2026, refinement has become even quieter. There's less emphasis on obvious luxury and more emphasis on proportion, texture, and density. Everything begins with the base. Your base in early spring should feel close to the body, but not tight. It should have weight, even if it looks light. A fine knit that holds shape, a long sleeve tee in substantial cotton, a silk blend that drapes without clinging. The key is opacity. If your base layer is thin enough to collapse under a jacket, the entire outfit loses authority. Color matters too, but not in the way people think. Early spring 2026 is not about bright pastels or sudden florals. It's about softened neutrals, cream instead of stark white, stone instead of beige, muted navy, chocolate brown, pale sage, dusted blue. These shades move gently towards spring without abandoning winter too quickly. There's restraint in that pacing, and restraint always reads as expensive. Over that base comes the layer that defines rich mom energy, structure. This is where most outfits either elevate or fall apart. Your structured layer should hold its shape even when worn open. If it collapses like a cardigan from 5 years ago, it won't create presence. Presence requires outline. In 2026, silhouettes have softened slightly. Shoulders are less aggressive than a few years ago, tailoring is a touch more fluid, but the integrity remains. A wool blend blazer, a cropped trench, a collarless jacket, a weighted cardigan that actually has form. These pieces bridge the seasons beautifully. You should be able to take this layer off indoors and still look finished. That's the test. If removing your jacket makes the outfit look incomplete, the base wasn't strong enough. Then we look at proportion. Early spring exposes proportion mistakes very quickly because layers are lighter. If your top is fitted, your bottom needs a bit of breadth. A wider leg trouser, a straight but structured denim. If your top is more fluid, your bottom should anchor it. Denim absolutely belongs in refined dressing, but it has to be intentional. Dark wash or a clean mid-tone. No distressing, no frayed hems. Proper length that grazes the shoe instead of hovering awkwardly above it. In 2026, trousers are slightly elongated again, and that subtle extension creates a quiet, vertical line that feels polished. Proportion is subtle, but it's powerful. It changes how you carry yourself. And then we arrive at the finish. This is where early spring mistakes quietly happen. Shoes in this season should feel grounded but lighter than winter. Leather loafers, structured ballet flats, a low slingback, even a minimal leather sneaker if it's styled intentionally. What doesn't work is dragging heavy winter boots too far into March or jumping prematurely into delicate summer sandals. Both disrupt the rhythm. The bag matters just as much. Structure again. Defined shape. Clean hardware, nothing overly slouchy. Early spring elegance relies on outline. When your bag collapses, the visual discipline disappears. Now, there are 3 pieces that consistently undermine early spring outfits, even when women think they're doing everything right. The first is the thin, shapeless cardigan. If it behaves like a long-sleeve t-shirt with buttons, it won't create authority. It softens everything too much. The second is the overly cropped jacket. Cropping shortens the vertical line at exactly the moment when we want to elongate again after heavy winter layering. And the third is introducing bright florals too soon. When nature is still neutral, a sudden explosion of color feels disconnected. Elegance is about harmony with your environment. Let me bring this together with 3 complete looks. Imagine a school drop-off or coffee meeting, a cream-ribbed knit that holds its shape, a camel-tailored blazer over it, dark, straight denim with a clean hem, chocolate loafers, a structured leather tote, hair in a low, sleek bun, minimal gold jewelry, nothing dramatic, but everything considered. The warmth of the camel against the cream creates softness without fragility. For a workday, think of a muted sage silk blouse under a soft tailored trench, an ivory wide-leg trouser that elongates the leg, a pointed ballet flat, a top-handle bag. The tones blend rather than contrast sharply. That tonal layering is one of the most powerful quiet luxury signals this year. It doesn't demand attention, but it holds it. And on a weekend, elegance doesn't disappear. A navy knit with density, a structured cardigan with weight, tailored dark denim, clean leather sneakers, a minimal crossbody, even relaxed outfits benefit from discipline. The difference between casual and careless is density. If you prefer to see these formulas translated into complete, ready-to-wear combinations, I've styled full early spring looks on our Instagram page. They're structured exactly according to this method, so you can see how proportion, layering, and texture come together visually. Some women prefer understanding the architecture, others prefer seeing it applied. You can choose what works for you. What makes this formula work isn't that it's fashionable, it's psychological. Structure signals control, layering signals intention, gradual transitions signal restraint, and restraint has always been associated with wealth. Elegant women don't rush into spring, they transition into it. When your outfit feels balanced, you move differently. You slow down slightly, you feel composed instead of reactive. And that composure is what people register first, not the brand, not the trend, the presence. If you found this helpful, save it for the next confusing weather morning when you're standing in front of your wardrobe unsure what works. And tell me in the comments what you struggle with most in early spring. Is it shoes? Proportion? Layering without looking bulky? I'll choose one and break it down next. And if you're building a wardrobe that feels intentional rather than trendy, subscribe to the Elegant Edition. We're not chasing spring, we're structuring it. I'll see you in the next video.